2013, and from here on forward, June 15th is Soundway Day. Yay! Proclaimed by the mayor this year, and Soundway is a portion of the Greenbelt that was saved through a community effort that was around 5 or 6 years long. Very political process, really long story, but there are many people here today that were part of that initial effort to convince the city not to sell this land and to save it in perpetuity as parks. It started out as 7 acres of forest, and they decided to throw in an additional 13 acres of forest, so now there's an additional 20 acres that's saved in perpetuity as parkland. So thank you all for being here today, and I wanted to introduce a very special individual, Rory Denevin, who Rory is legendary. But when we first started working in the Greenbelt, I heard about this guy named Rory who planted about 1,000 trees just on his own. So he was out there guerrilla tree planting, and that's like totally after my heart, that kind of work. And so I remember when the first day I met Rory, we were in the Greenbelt, because he works for Parks as of today, right now. But yeah, when I heard it was Rory, I kissed his hand. And I was so honored to meet you. I was absolutely blown away. So I just wanted to thank you, Rory, and introduce you.
Thanks, Nancy. It wasn't just me. I wasn't alone. I actually had help. In fact, one of the people I coerced, I think it was maybe our second or third date, Becca, my now wife. I talked her into going out and planting trees with me in the Greenbelt. I'm amazed she's still with me. Right there. I think the other date was like we went to a hardware store, so that's. But Nature Consortium has just done phenomenal work in here. This whole effort to save Soundway from development and then to restore it has just been incredible. It's had implications not just in the forest, which those implications, by the way, are just incredible. I remember bringing friends in here, and it was a muddy rut. Somebody had thrown a few broken pallets over so you didn't have to walk in the mud. And I remember bringing some friends in there, and they were like, what is this? And I was like, no, look at these madronas. This forest type is incredible. It's like really rare in the city. And they're like, okay, we're going to take your word for it. And but it really is. It's an amazing place. But the implications through all this, I have met neighbors they became active. In fact, they did a lot more than I did to keep the property from being developed and saving it for the public. And so it's really had a lot of benefits in terms of getting the community aware and getting the community to have a voice. It's so important. You know, we think about what's going on in Turkey right now and what people are having to do. And so we should appreciate what we have, and we should exercise our voice. Let the politicians know what you want, because that's how democracy works. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Rory! I'm going to talk really loud. Hi, my name is Lily Ayala. I'm the Restoration Director here at Nature Consortium, and thank you all so much for coming out today. It's really amazing to feel the strength of community here today. So every year, Nature Consortium recognizes an outstanding individual who's volunteered their time and efforts and love to helping us here in the Greenbelt continue our restoration work to make the West Duwamish Greenbelt a healthy forest. And today I want to recognize Tim, and I'm also going to give Tim the opportunity to clear up some confusion around how to pronounce his last name, because I know in the office we look at his last name and pronounce it like 10 different ways. So Tim, can you please come up here? Jaregi! Tim Jaregi, everyone! Where's Lindsay? Jaregi! So, Tim, I'd like to present you with our Golden Shovel Award. very prestigious. It has been dipped in gold by Max Baker over here, our AmeriCorps. Since 2011, and I have to refer back to my notes, but since 2011, Tim's volunteered a total of 128 hours with us. Tim is nothing but a pleasure to work with. He's always helpful, has a ton of information. He's always willing to give people a helping hand. Just interacting with Tim in the field is amazing. I walk away from those particular events feeling very lucky to have met him and lucky to have him involved. So I want to give this, thank you so much. And I'll give you a minute to say whatever you would like to.
Thank you, Lily, and Lizzie, and Max. This is really an honor. It's certainly unexpected, especially considering an organization that's just loaded with so many volunteers doing so much in the restoration field as well as across the organization. And yeah, what can I say? I really appreciate it. The time that I've spent out here has been really, selfishly, I feel that I've gained more than I've given up. It's been therapeutic. It's been my connection to the natural world in a way that I felt like I could really contribute and also connect with other fantastic, like-minded people doing the same thing. And yeah, I really appreciate Nature Consortium for all that they are and all that they do, and the mission that is set in front of it, and look forward to many more hours of opportunity of service. So thanks very much. And I have to say one thing. Wow, I was wondering, the golden shovel, what was that going to look like? It really is a golden shovel. One of the last times that I came out recently, I got the opportunity for my first time to take and maintain old shovels and literally file them down, and we were removing rust and treating them, so as soon as Lily handed me this, I looked at this and thought, okay, I better not take a filing tool to this. We better just preserve this as is. So anyway, thanks a lot, you guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Tim. I also want to take a minute to recognize somebody else who's been really integral to the restoration program. She spent 3 years working with over thousands of volunteers, putting in thousands of hours of work, doing thousands of square feet of removal, and planting thousands of plants. That person is Lizzie Jackson. She's our restoration and education coordinator. Her last week with us is next week, and I thought what better time to recognize the hard work that she's done and the impact that she's had on the community and staff than now. And in true restoration style, I want to present her with a gift. If you could come up here. So I want to say Lizzie is moving on to get a teaching certificate at UW, and you should ask her about the program because it's amazing. She's going to continue to do amazing work and impact our youth and connect them with nature in the best way possible. And also, Lizzie is continuing her restoration career by being a forest steward over at Longfellow Creek. And so I thought, what can I present to her that will be helpful in her work? So some of you may know what this tool is.
Hori hori knife.
Yep, this is called a hori hori. It's a Japanese tool. And for those of you who may know about Longfellow Creek, it is overrun by bindweed, which is a morning glory. And the best tool for removing bindweed is this. Woohoo! So, Lizzie, I want to...
This is my new